January 11th, 1964, Jack Rochette, 21 years old. He is part of a 16-man scuba diver crew. They are doing some spearfishing. They are at the Southeast Farallon Islands in California. Jack Rochette is wearing a full black neoprene wetsuit with yellow striping. He has a black mask, yellow swim fins, and twin yellow scuba tanks. The boat is located a quarter mile from shore. They are in at least 50 feet deep water, and it is just around noon. Jack has just speared a fish. He has turned to Gary New, 24 years old, handed Gary his spear gun so that he could swim after and retrieve his fish. So he hands him his spear gun and is swimming along the surface. Gary looks over and he could see a huge great white 30 to 40 feet away. And shortly after that, as Jack is swimming along the surface, he says he felt like he was hit by a mountain as the shark comes up and clamps both of his legs into its mouth. And Jack looks at it and says he could not believe it. He was being shaken like a dog would a toy. This huge shark has both of his legs in his mouth, shaking him like a dog, and then releases him and disappears. Jack is now in a pool of blood, and he is rescued. As the skipper of the dive boat, Hank Schramm, was saying he saw the huge shark surface and then grab Jack. And he said he had a rifle, but he couldn't shoot because he might have hit one of the other divers. Now, also on the boat is Jack Bolger. He is 40 years old, and he is a mechanic. And he sees what he claims was a man swimming in tight circles in a pool of blood. So he dove into the water and swam 150 feet and grabbed Jack and brought him back to the boat and onto the boat. Now, the shark, shortly after it bit Jack, resurfaced around Jim Davis and his brother Bruce. And the shark started circling the two of them, so they swam to the bottom of the seafloor. And heading to the boat is Gary New, and he says that as he's trying to swim to the boat, the shark came in and started approaching him. Every time he would make a move to the boat, the shark would come closer and closer, until finally that shark was just 1 meter away from him, just over 3 feet from him, where he was pointing his spear gun at the shark, and they were eye to eye, just looking at each other for a few seconds. And he says that the bubbles from the gentlemen that were on the seafloor below him distracted the shark, and the shark had turned. But before the shark had turned, Gary New says that he felt the shark's head hit his legs as it turned to go see what was going on at the bottom of the seafloor. Now, that allows Gary New to shoot up to the surface and gets on the boat. Now the shark goes down and it's checking out the two divers on the seafloor. They said it kept getting closer and closer to them till it was a few feet away, and finally it broke off and they were able to get up and out of the water. All the men claimed the shark was minimum 22 feet long, up to 25 feet long. There was a tooth fragment that was recovered, a 17 millimeter large tooth fragment that had broke off in the leg of Jack, and that confirmed that this was at least a 7 to 8 meter great white, which would make this the largest reported great white attack ever in recorded history, 7 meters being the smaller of the estimate, and 26 feet being, and this is the largest great white shark attack on history so far.